before. Even when Team Purple won back at the beginning, week 1 of Season 4, that was still just a very close series. But now Team White, of course, they're showing that they can be taken down over these last 2 weeks. But now it's going to be not just up to Team White to show that they can get back into the scene, but also above Region Black to try and show that they can not just take down one top team, they can try and take down two. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen, now getting back into the hands of Thirsty. Thirsty over to the side wall, and Benji's going to try and follow it up. Shweepy now taking possession in the offensive corner, going to be looking to try and play it slow, isn't able to get it past one of the defenders. But now Eli trying to take possession, looking for a follow-up, isn't able to get back to it. It's going to be up to Minnie. Minnie clears the ball down the field over to Shweepy. And so far, above Region Black have a lot of pressure on this side of things. However, Team Cyan, they normally, if not always, have had a lot of more defensive-minded players. And it's why, once it comes to those championships, once it comes to those grand finals, is probably why Benji's teams have won so much in the past. Remember, Benji has 3 Havoc champions under his 3 Havoc championships under his belt. He has won 3 seasons in a row. Of course, the first 2 seasons were with Team Blue, who knocked out the old Team Purple, who reverse swept Team White back in the day. And of course, now, last season, with the current team he's playing with now, he also has a Havoc championship under him. So overall, Benji's a very, very solid player. All of his teams have been very solid teams. So now it's just going to be up to them to see if they can try and maintain this aggression and maintain this perfect season they're going on. Because so far, Team Cyan have yet to lose a single game. And I don't think anyone's expecting Team Cyan to win every single game since they've had a little bit easier of a run. However, still, it's going to be something that we want to pay attention to. But now, back over to Thirsty. Thirsty over to Shweepy. Shweepy will pinch the ball out. Benji on the respawn, gonna be looking to maintain possession. Benji looks for a play under one. It's gonna be followed up here by Minnie. Minnie not playing on the dominant. It's gonna be over to Shweepy. Shweepy looking for a pass out to Eli. Eli tries to pass it back. Instead, it's just gonna be a long clear to the backboard. Eli popping it up. Over to Tunda. Tunda now over to Thirsty, and now Benji's gonna be the one trying to take possession and clear the ball away. Minnie up in the air, accidentally side flips, but Eli's going to get a nice touch to keep the ball on the offensive side. Shweepy looking for the double tap, isn't able to get it, and Minnie actually doesn't go for the ball. Maybe he thought he was going to own goal, and above Region Black are going to step up and get their first goal of the game. Look at that here, though. 2.5 minutes. We're nearing the midway point at this moment in time, and above Region Black already got the first goal on the board. However, I doubt Team Cyan or have any fear in their hearts, at least at this moment in time. However, if we do remember back to the seeding tournament, Team Cyan only, I believe, got 4th or 5th in terms of seeding. Even though they are Havoc champions, they were able to be toppled by the likes of above Region Blue. However, Thirsty's definitely going to be looking to try and put on a double tap right there. Isn't able to get it, but here we go. Benji pitches the ball out to the other side of the field, over to Minnie. Minnie trying to maintain possessions. Now going to be back over to Eli. Eli looking for the follow-up, isn't able to get back to it. Follow-up going to be off the backboard. Minnie is now going to try and follow it up. Benji looks for the pass out mid. Minnie, though, couldn't get the read. Eli, last on defense, he fakes it out, looks for an immediate shot. It's going to be off the backboard, but no one above Region Black were able to follow that ball right away as Shweepy ends up being backwards to the ball. Eli into the air, looking for the solo play, isn't able to get back to it, but Benji will. Benji clears the ball down the field. Now over to Minnie. It's going to be off the crossbar. Off the corner, and Minnie isn't able to get the double tap. Benji now pushing the ball forward, looking for the Doomsy dish, isn't able to get back to it. Thirsty ends up pushing up a little too far, and it's going to be up to him to try and get Minnie a free possession here. Great block, though, on the side of above Region Black. Now we're nearing the 1.5-minute point here. Team Cyan still yet to have scored a single goal. But Team Cyan, still, they are a very defensive team. They're looking for that last one. They're looking for their chance. However, from above Region Black, don't ever make a mistake in this game. Then it's going to be up to Team Cyan to make sure that they themselves don't make a mistake as they keep waiting for these shots to come at them from the above Region offense. Eli ends up not being able to get the ball. It's going to be over to Benji. Benji loses the 50-50. It's going to be back to Minnie. Minnie with the 50-50. And now it's going to be back over to the side of Benji. Benji over to Eli. Eli now into the air. Back over to Thirsty. Thirsty, Minnie do get the 50-50. So we back into the hands of Eli. Eli pitches the ball forward. We back over to Tunda. Tunda over to Thirsty. Thirsty now back over to Shweepy. Shweepy tries to pass the ball down the field. Tunda there acts there as a fake to allow Shweepy to get the free possession on the ball. Eli down to Mini, isn't able to get back to the ball. Back over to Tunda. Thirsty tries to get back to the ball. Now it's going to be back over to Benji. Benji in the air. He's on low boost, but I don't think the other team knows. He gets the flip reset. He shoots. Thirsty lands on the ball, and Team Cyan end up tying the game with 30 seconds left. Look at this. Benji had 30. He had less than 40 boost. He gets the flick, and then Thirsty just lands on the ball. That's the mechanics we love to see out of these two gentlemen, and they managed to get the goal. 30 seconds left. Now me back over to Thirsty. And now everybody in chat, one thing I do want to know from you guys is after seeing this first game, if Team Cyan do end up managing to take this game, how well do you think Above Region Black will manage to do in this series? Of course, they were on a sweep from last week against what people consider were the best team in the league. However, of course, now we've seen that Team White can be toppled by not just them. So maybe they're going to come in here with a little bit lackluster results. Ball's going to bounce out mid. Benji's going to try to look for a save. Mini can't get back to the ball, and Above Region Black will take the lead with 5 seconds left in this series. Sorry, left in the game. This looks like Mini wasn't able to get back to the ball. They ended up putting it right into that back post where no one was sitting. And Team Above Region Black are going to continue trying to be aggressive, pushing this ball forward. Mini tries to lose the 50 over to Thirsty. Thirsty gets the beat on one, but he ends up getting bumped. The ball touches the ground. That's Cyan. Game number 2. Who's going to get the win? I am personally thinking that Team Cyan are going to get this next win. They played very solid. They're now used to their opponents, so they definitely can get this win. However, I have been wrong before. I mean, I think Benji and I are both wrong about the fact that Team White were going to win that last series they had against Above Region Black. However, Sweepy looking for the clear down the field. Benji looking for a controlled touch. We'll leave it for Thirsty, and now it's going to be over to Eli. Eli trying to maintain possession, ends up faking it, and over to Tunda. Tunda will get it past everybody, but luckily for Team Cyan, Thirsty ends up sitting right on the goal line to be able to get to the ball first. Benji trying to maintain possession, pushing the ball forward. 50-50's the ball across over to Mini. Mini ends up having to clear the ball down the field. Ball back over to Thirsty. Thirsty trying to find a way to maintain possession. Thirsty trying to pass the ball mid. Over to Thirsty. Thirsty looks for the shot. Is it in? It's off the crossbar. Mini looks for the follow-up once again. And here we go. This is the Team Cyan we know and love. And Mini is going to be the one stepping up here. As not only does he put a very nice shot on at first, but he puts an outstanding recovery and shot right in the back of the net afterwards. Amazing play there from Mini. But even then, Above Region Black looking very solid at this moment in time. And Team Cyan are really having to work for all these goals. Benji into the air looking for the solo play. Gets a 50-50 pass too. Actually tries to use his flip reset to rotate out of it, but he ends up bumping his teammate instead. So they aren't able to get a second goal on the board. But Thirsty with an amazing challenge will allow Team Cyan to maybe keep some pressure. However, Shwepi in the air. It's going to be a double commit. Tundo looking for the aerial passing play. And Benji will be the one now to clear the ball down the field. Thirsty now puts it off the backboard toward Benji. Isn't able to get back to it. Mini looking for a pass off the sidewall mid. It's going to be an empty net. Can Thirsty put it in? Isn't able to put the ball in the empty net. Benji finds himself having to go for that ball, looking for a demo on his way back. Mini, last on defense, looking for the save. He does get the 1v3 save. An outstanding defense there coming in from Mini. He's really stepping up here from Team Cyan. Eli popping the ball mid over to Mini. Mini will get the long clear. Tunda should have an easy save here, which he manages to get. And Benji now will be the one trying to get the ball back to the other side. Thirsty looking for a push forward. Now back over to Sweepy. Sweepy into the air. Now back over to Benji. Benji puts the ball down. Back into the hands of Tunda. Tunda. Now back over to Mini. Mini looks for the shot. It's going to be a little bit wide, but Team Cyan definitely looking strong. When Team Cyan get a lead, especially an early lead, they're the ones who have the most consistency in regards to taking control of the game. However, Benji ends up missing that touch, almost own goaling, and Above Region Black almost managed to get back to it. Mini, though, caught in an awkward situation, will not be able to get back to this ball, and Above Region Black, even though they managed to tie up this game, they had to put so much pressure on the Team Cyan defense. And it almost looks like, in regards to Above Region Black, they're sometimes throwing two players at the ball, not necessarily out of lack of communication, but it almost seems like a play style. They're just trying to be as aggressive as possible, trying to mimic the legs of Team Gray. However, we've seen in the past in those very aggressive teams that they end up pushing up too far with all three of their players. And with somebody like Benji on a roster, he will just rip a shot down the field, giving themselves a free goal. So that's what Above Region Black will have to make considerations for, is they have to make sure that they aren't too aggressive if they are going to be looking for that aggressive playstyle. Benji pushes the ball down the field, looking for the follow-up. Trying to get a beat past Tunda. Tunda almost gets bumped, isn't able to get back to it. It's going to be back into the hands of Team Cyan. Benji trying to maintain possession, pops the ball off his own backboard. Instead of following it up for his teammate, Benji lets them shoot, and it's going to allow Above Region Black to again get a goal on the board. Looks right here, Eli ends up just getting a free shot as Mini puts it off the backboard, and Benji, instead of supporting, watching the midfield pass or watching that backboard, he rushes right into net, allowing Eli a perfect shot on target. And Eli, he's shown that he's a good striker, so it's going to be something that Team Cyan are going to have to take accountability for in regards to their offense. Now back to the backboard, over to Sweepy. Sweepy can't get back to it. Be back over to Mini. Mini ends up losing it. It's going to be over to Thirsty once more. Thirsty looking for the follow-up. Ends up losing the 50-50. Sweepy already into the air. Be back over to Benji. Benji trying to maintain possession. Benji looks for the flick. Ends up not being able to get it. It's going to now be back into the hands of Mini. Mini over to Thirsty. Thirsty now trying to take his time. Ends up passing it right over to him, though. There seems to be a lack of there seems to be a grand amount of hesitation coming out from Team Cyan. It's not just them being patient. It seems like they're actively being hesitant to fly for the ball, and it looks like Above Region Black are going to continue to push the ball down the field with a great aggressiveness. It's something that we do have to take into consideration. Even though Team Cyan are looking very, very strong, they've always had problems against very aggressive teams. The only time where they've ended up having the upper hand against really aggressive teams are in very nerve-wracking situations. But now, this is week 4. Above Region Black have 3 weeks of experience plus the seeding tournament. So they have the experience. They shouldn't have any nerves. So if they can keep up this type of aggression and Team Cyan don't find their way to adjust, then we're going to see some problems in regards to Team Cyan, as they are going to now have to try and reverse sweep, as even though they're one of the only undefeated teams in the league. Benji puts the ball at the backboard, looks for a double tap. It's going to be awkward for Above Region Black, but again, no follow-up from Team Cyan is going to mean that Above Region Black don't have to scramble too much on the defensive end. Ball passed out mid. Mini is there, looks for the shots, going to be weak, but Team Above Region Black end up being in a very safe situation as Eli, again, back in position. Very solid gameplay from both of these teams. Mini popping the ball high into the air, over to Sweepy. Sweepy, not putting it off the backboard now, over to Benji. Benji trying to maintain possession. Benji over to the side wall. It's going to be bouncing off the post. The fourth man denying it here for Team Cyan with 20 seconds left. Mini turns on it early. It could be a chance here for Benji. He looks for the shot. It's going to be saved away once again by Sweepy. The defense right now for Above Region Black is honestly even looking better than Team Cyan at moments, as they have somebody covering every facet of the game. Now ball's going to get launched onto the field once again with an amazing 50 there from Eli. They almost managed to get us. It happened that it was Team Cyan this time. And Above Region Black, maybe they're one of those grinders that stay up till 4 a.m. every single night trying to grind, because right now they're looking better than ever, as it looks like, as Tunda aren't able to get the ball. Is able to get the ball past the defense of Team Cyan. It just looks like Team Cyan don't have what it takes in order to get the wins that they need at this moment in time, as their defense is starting to fall apart. Five minutes left on the clock. Mini tries to lose the kickoff back to Benji, but Benji gets completely dunked on by Sweepy. Sweepy looks for the pass mid, but Benji is back for the ball and will try and maintain possession. Benji isn't able to get back to it. Now back to Eli. Eli over to the air, passes the ball down. That would have been an outstanding play there from Above Region Black, but Team Cyan's defense just remains strong and aren't going to get scored on just yet, but the ball just bounces down. There's no one challenging it, and again, hesitation coming out of the legs of Team Cyan. Look, all Eli did there was put the ball off the top of the roof to make the ball bounce down, but no one on Team Cyan even tried to challenge that ball. Again, a little hesitation here on Team Cyan going against a team that honestly most people might consider them better as. However, Thirsty pops the ball up over to Eli. Eli back to Tunda. Tunda with an amazing shot. What is happening right now? Just the overall aggression. This is what Above Region Black are doing. Once they get the ability, once they're in the air, once they get some wins on the board, the confidence they're able to use. They've always had amazing mechanics, but just the overall confidence they're using right now, oh my goodness, that's something that we love to see. Eli popping the ball over to the side wall, looking for the redirect. He will get it somewhat on target, but Benji should be able to clear the ball across his own net. Now it's going to move over to Benji once again. He's actually out of boost, and his team will end up staying on the defensive end here for a moment. Amazing save there from Mini, but again, the amount of space being given here to above region Black is just phenomenal. And even though we are only 1 minute into the third game, above region Black looking poised to take it. Now, gonna be back over. This is all in Team Cyan's court right now. They're going to try and maintain possession. They're going to try and find one way. If they can get a goal here early on, it's definitely still possible to come back in this game. But of course, as the time winds down, they're going to realize more and more how necessary getting more goals are. They're down by 4 early on in the game, and if they aren't able to come back with at least 1 goal right now, that's going to be pretty much it. Benji looking for the follow-up, isn't able to get back to it. Back with the hands of Team Cyan once again. Tunda over to Mini. Mini will get the beat. There we go. Looks like we've got a message here by BBW Comedian. Above Region Black is beating Team Cyan solely off of rotation by playing as a team. That last Cyan goal was the first time I saw an actual passing play for them. That is very, very well spoken there from Mr. Comedian. Thank you so much for your insight. Yes, Team Cyan is at this moment in time, they are very stuck on their own side of the field. We're seeing them, even though we're seeing them take possession, we're not seeing them use them as a team, and they're being very, very hesitant. Whereas compared to Above Region Black, where even though Above Region Black, as I say that, Benji manages to get the first goal of this game, even though Above Region Black are playing very, very aggressive, they are still making a lot of mistakes. But just for the fact that they're not hesitating, it's allowing Team Above Region Black to get the wins, to get the goals that they need. It's not necessarily that they're playing better as a team or have a better play style, but at this moment in time, just the overall aggression from Above Region Black is allowing them to stay in the lead, and not only stay in the lead, but extend their lead as well. Benji now back over to Eli. Eli trying to maintain possession, but he's on 0 boost. Mini will get a 50-50 that almost goes on target, but Sweepy now into the air. We're seeing a solo play, looking for the he hits the ball at the backboard. He follows it off the ceiling, but isn't able to get the boost to stay at the height of the ball. Now Benji, though, going to be looking for a play here. Passes the ball at mid. Mini there for the shot, and there we go. Team Cyan already back in this. Team Cyan, they were a little quiet for a little bit, but now the offense is starting to go. We're seeing a little bit of the hesitation now set in for Above Region Black, and Team Cyan, it looks like they've shaken off the dust and are looking like they can be back in this game. 2 minutes left on the clock. Mini 50s the ball over and across. Now over to Eli. Eli looking for the follow-up. Over to Thirsty. Thirsty gets completely dunked on, though. It's going to be a chance here, and Benji will get the 50-50. Sweepy, though, gets bumped out, but Benji doesn't have the boost to be able to get the follow-up. He does have the smarts, though. With the smarts of Benji, he mentions he can regain possession, at least for the moment, but Sweepy is just a little bit faster with the ball than his teammates. Right now, Eli, once again, we can see this. This is what I love coming out of Above Region Black. They're solo playing the ball out of their defense. They're not wasting time with passes, which are just transferring who's taking possession. They have space, and they're taking these air dribbles to get the ball to the offensive side. And once they're on the offensive side and they get a little bit of space, then they start passing to open up that defense. That's what we like to see at Above Region Black. They're not passing to get on transition, which can easily get intercepted by higher level teams. They're instead going for solo plays until they get that pressure on offense, and once the pressure's there, they start to pile on the passes, and that's what we love to see out of Above Region Black. And even though we saw a 2-goal swing in regards to Team Cyan, it's still going to be a chance here for Team Above Region Black, but Benji with the last second save keeps Team Cyan in this with the final minute remaining. Team Cyan still a good team that you have to remember, but Mini gets an outstanding goal, and Team Cyan now, with a minute left, have brought back the game from a 3-goal lead at the very least. They are now only 1 goal away from tying it up. And now, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, I thought this game was over after I saw those first 4 goals. But now, with a minute left, only a goal down, Team Cyan have all the momentum. Maybe they can still come back in this. Tunda putting the ball over to the side wall. It's going to be over to Benji. Benji looks for a hit off the ceiling. Couldn't able to follow it. Seeing a little bit of scrambling in net. Benji wasn't able to follow it. That's going to be a bump. A little bit of decomposure there from Team Cyan, as it looked like they had an amazing opportunity to get that, but Mini will end up putting the ball off the side wall. Now back over to Benji. Benji pops the ball up over to Thirsty. Thirsty could be the one to double tap it in. Isn't able to double tap, but Benji shoots. It's going to be saved away by above Region Black. 30 seconds left, but Team Cyan have all the pressure. They know they got to play aggressive now. Eli looking for a possession, puts the ball over to Sweepy. There you go. They were being pressured on defense with the pass out, but now again, solo play to get the ball to offensive side. Mini on 0 boost with 15 seconds left. Going to be having to look for a pass. He passes it over. He actually gets a solo play. He wins the 50-50 over to Thirsty. Thirsty gets the beat. It's going to be up to Benji now. Benji has the ball bounce in a favorable position for him, but now Tunda, you're going to be looking to waste down the clock. The ball touches the ground to 0 seconds. The game is over. And